For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Well, you can see the picture behind me. There's lots of work being done at the St. Clair Inn in St. Clair. The owner, Jeff Katofsky, was in town recently, held a media tour with the Voice, the Times Herald, WPHM, and ourselves. So we've got about a half-hour video for you of that tour. We hope you enjoy it. There's also some pictures I want to thank Frank Fralito for. He did a nice job of some of the shots, this shot particularly, behind us here from the water, and I think you'll enjoy the video.
We'll do, I think, because it's a little bit disjointed. Why don't we'll start, and I can walk you through one of the cottages. We'll start there and walk around that, and then we'll take a look at the old inn, and you'll see, you guys will be blown away, those of you especially who were here a month and a half ago, what's there. We got to go up and around where they're piling in knocking down the metal into the ground today. So we'll go around that, we'll go out the front, and then we'll go into the North Tower and ask me anything you want. I might be able to answer. Before we go in, so over here will be the pool house. We've been playing around with the design. We had some ADA access issues that we finally worked out. It's been slow getting there because you've got to have the right ramp, but you'll have a pool here. Lost my swim-up bar. Apparently the state of Michigan does not permit it. So lost my pool, but there will be a pool house here. It'll have bathrooms in it. It'll have a restaurant. We can do a barbecue area. Above it is a deck on top of that can do about 80 people for an event, which will have a little bit of height, and that'll ramp off the street here. There will be a fence all the way across, a fence line across to keep it private. So that's going there. Landscape-wise, as you roll down in here, there will be, as you can see, we've graded, everything. This used to be a hill. There will be some grading down to the water, but a lot of open areas because your amphitheater is over there, and so all of this is going to give people that view of the amphitheater as well, to expand that amphitheater. I don't know how many seats, but you could do a concert here, and you could be able to sit here or sit in front of these houses and take advantage of it as well. So this is the closest one to being done from a framing standpoint. We're about ready for plumbing and electrical here once they put the roof on. And you do plumbing and electrical before you do drywall. And then each one is about 2 weeks behind. So we can go into this one.
How are you?
You need some help? Get some hammers?
What's that?
Got some hammers for everybody?
Hammers and whatever you guys need. Just gotta get a hard hat.
So this is basically a living room. This is your living room party area. There will be a sort of private walled off deck in the front for people to sit out, patio area, and really enjoy the view and whatever else is going on down here. Bathrooms down here. Each of these cottages have at least 4 bathrooms. Again, we're assuming there's going to be 6 people in these things when they're being used properly, families or wedding parties. So downstairs, you've got bathroom. I think there's a kitchenette, but I might be wrong. They're all a little bit different. The money shot's upstairs, and you see the master. And again, I'm a little slow going upstairs, so I apologize. Yeah, no, they're good size.
How many bedrooms?
3. Two of them are 3, and one of them is 2. And this one is 1. This is 3. So you'll be able to get in from the street level or from ground floor. So there's access in both. But look at the views off the master here. Oh. And what isn't built yet is there's a deck off of here.
Oh.
So this is just. I think this is incredible.
Yeah. Totally.
And you got a big master bath here, which you can tell, which is framed out. We're keeping the vaulted ceilings in the entryway. I'm pretty sure, I gotta look, I think this is the neutral. So the other ones, so this is the one that is more family oriented. What again? The other two, one's more centralized for women, the other one's more centralized for men. Then the changes are in the dressing areas and the bathrooms. So you'll see in the women's room, for instance, there's a big long vanity. In the men's, you have less bathroom and more space to sort of mill around and get your clothes on. And that's sort of the intention behind them. Again, they're fine for families anyway, but we wanted to have that sort of dual purpose. And this is the neutral one. So this is a 3-bedroom. All of this is open. All these windows are open. Imagine the bed here looking out with a nice, great big deck and a view of whatever you want to see. So we're rolling on these. We'll keep the vaulted ceilings in here to give us some height.
Got a view of going north too. Little window there.
The what?
That nice view there.
Oh yeah, you got everywhere. Right, might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back down the stairs and around. So we don't have to go down this way. There'll be a 6-foot wall.
6-foot wall.
Yeah, so 4 feet of wall, and then some metal on top of it, decorative.
Yeah.
We'll probably plant it and give it some more privacy.
A lot of privacy then.
There will be, in front of the pool house, there will be a doorway there to access that as well as down here. But yeah, I mean, it's a private resort.
Yeah.
And so we'll keep it that way. This area, there'll be some paving up here. We have golf carts to service. And so there'll be an area for the golf carts to run all the way down the side here to service the pool house and all the cottages, so that the maid service and room service and anything else we need. And so this will be a little bit of a road here, a decorative road. And then in between each of the, again, we had to do a lot of grading here. So this will be stepped down and planted in between the houses, so you won't be able to walk in between them.
Oh.
And there'll be different levels of planting and foliage there with different levels of retaining walls, so it'll look pretty and keep some additional privacy. So your way around from house to house will be either through the front door or along where we are now. You gonna go to TV? We'll go up there. All right, so this room doesn't really change. It's a great room in here. A big difference that you'll see visually is what we did over here.
Wow.
So we're gonna leave the exposed brick down here for the pub, and what we've done here is this is going to be a see-through wraparound glass wine grotto.
Wonderful.
So you'll be able. This will be where all the wine is kept for the hotel. So it'll be an enclosed wine room, but it'll be see-through. So if you're sitting up here having tea, you can look into the bar, or vice versa. You won't have a sound issue, but you'll be able to see right through it. All the wine bottles will be all the way floor to ceiling, all the way wrapped around, and that's going to be the barrier between
Marvelous.
the tea room and whatever we end up calling that downstairs, which we're still playing with. And the other thing is we'll be raising the levels, so you won't have all these levels down there. That wall will. It's the original exterior wall of the inn, so we're going to leave that the way it is. Obviously, we'll take the wood off of it and clean it up, but we're going to use that exposed brick on the inside. So that's a big change from the last time you were here. Take it down this way. Be careful. Really watch your feet. We're going to go into an area that's the kitchen's a mess.
So this was the tea room you said?
Yeah, that where you just were.
Okay.
The stage will be put back together, like in the good old days. We're gonna do something with the logo, the old inn logo, and do that maybe in stained glass in the back here. That used to be a window.
Yeah.
We'll do that. But the stage will go back. We kept all the parts, and we'll put Humpty Dumpty back together again, and use that. I've always said I'm thinking midweek, open mic nights and things like that here in the dining room. But we want to go back to what that was and bring that piece back, because I think it's a unique piece. You're big enough to do a 3-piece band up there for music.
Yeah.
So certain nights you want to do that, and we'll get a you know, a harp or what. They used to have a piano up there. I don't know how they fit it, but you know, I'm thinking something smaller, but that'll be fun to do. And so we're putting that one back together, but we're gonna do something with some light behind it. Please be really careful in here. You're gonna set a kitchen.
Oh my, this is amazing.
Right, but see all the holes, guys?
Yeah.
Please be really careful. So really look where you're at. So we don't need to be falling into the basement. So this was the kitchen and now is the kitchen again. Did I do that right? Everything's gonna be new in the kitchen anyway, so we blew it up. A couple of big changes. So this staircase here, careful, Paul. Careful, Paul. Yep. You're gonna kill yourself. So this staircase was here and was covered up, and so we saw it. We need access because of the way we structured it. We'll go down this in a minute. You need access, so we thought let's uncover it up. So we took this out to get back down there, and then we built this staircase going up. So now you have access to the back of the house all the way up and down the end, which is really good for the staff. So staff can sneak around and do what they need to do without, you know, with avoiding the guests. And so this is new. So this piece in here, we'll go this way. Here's the old coach room. So what you just walked through now won't be here. That's going to get walled off there. So the only way into the coach room, which is going to be called Prohibition, will be here. This room is going to be a private room, and you're going to need a secret password to get in.
All right.
I'm not kidding. It's going to be a door that if you don't have the password, you don't get in here. This is where you'll find Bohm at 2 a.m. laid out. But this. So Prohibition, the concept here is to take advantage of the history of the inn, which of course during Prohibition times you used to sneak alcohol in here from Canada. We want to bring it back to 1920 in here. It's going to be designed like it was in 1920, you know, because it's dark and it's got low. We're not making it bright, and we want you to come here and you're going to drink out of, you know, tin cups and things like that. We want you to feel like you're cheating, and we want you to feel a little dirty when you walk out. And that's what we're doing here. But it's you know, a place you can play backgammon or checkers. Not real loud music, just sort of that old style, high class. We're even playing around with making you wear a hat instead of a coat. And then where Dan Casey's standing, and that'll be a private room that we'll probably put some wine lockers in there for locals who want to rent out wine lockers and keep their wine here. And do that, and that's what that's for. But this will all be, it'll be, you know, we're looking at maybe like a bookcase where you got to know the right book to pull, type of thing. Let's go downstairs into the basement, and we'll walk back around that way. So yeah, this goes away. You know what? I take it back. Let's go upstairs. We're gonna go upstairs first.
Watch that knee.
Yeah, up is a lot easier. Down's hard for me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Beautiful.
Here, let me turn that down. So this is a big change since the last time you were here. Because historically the inside of the rooms wasn't important, it's just everything else. You know, you have to put the corridor back where it was and things like that. We were able to blow this out, which allows us to completely modernize it from a technical standpoint and then put Humpty Dumpty back together again. But here's the great part. How about these ceilings?
Yeah.
So here's the really fun stuff. We can keep most of the ceiling and the ceiling height on the inside of the rooms, which does a couple things. Because the rooms here are small, and they're going to be small again because I can't expand what they used to be. It allows me to open the bathrooms up a little bit, which is important, but the rooms are going to be the same size. So in the middle here, so if you look at you look at that column there, you see the red brick over the black brick? Your ceiling heights will be around the top of that black brick. And we'll be able to keep the angle in there. And so it opens up the volume of the rooms. Not so much in the outlets because we can go up to 9 feet. Where these wires are is going to be your ceiling height here. We couldn't do it because we've got some structural issues to keep here. But in the middle here, we can roll that down and keep your heights there, which just makes these historical rooms even greater.
How many rooms will you end up here?
It'll be what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember the exact number. The historic piece of the hotel, I think, was 41, and it'll still be the same.
You took out all the air conditioners and...
Well, there's no P-tax. I mean, we're doing a different concept up there. And one of the reasons why we're not going all the way up is because we've got to use some of it for mechanical, for air, and things of that sort. So that, again, that above that line, that last couple of feet is where we'll run the ducting and things of that sort. Okay. But you won't see the air conditioning in the rooms. But this is a really huge change from the last time you were all here. This will be, so conceptually, our roof here is solid, it's fine now. The roof on the north side's got to go bye-bye soon, and we'll go over there in a minute. So what they'll do is, they're about 3 weeks away from starting to reframe all this, and then they'll do the plumbing and electrical here. By the time they're done, they'll go to the north tower and do that.
Reframe inside?
The inside, yes, right. So you'll see that, right now you see that they're spraying the insulation. And so they'll do that, then they'll come back in and they'll pop all the framing in, and then they'll start doing the electrical and the plumbing, and then they'll start drywalling it. But by the next time that we do this, this will be put back together again to some extent. All right, so,
will there be a central hallway that feeds all the rooms?
Yes, there's a central hallway, right where it was. In fact, you can see where it was if you look on the concrete. You can see the concrete line. So that hallway goes right back where it was, in the same spot. Really, all the rooms go back to where they were. It's just, this was lath and plaster, and you didn't have enough plugs, and things that we all are used to having now. And so now we can put it back the way it should be, but make it look like it was.
What's going to happen with the windows? Are you putting all new windows up here?
All new, well, yes, all new windows that are built, and specially built so they look like they did in 1926. And that is a historic thing that you have to do. When I talk about doing things with a toothbrush, so the windows have to be specially made to look exactly like they were when they were built originally, but they'll be all new dual glazed windows.
Right.
Right.
Will they be open? Will you be able to open?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Honestly. Okay. Probably not, because it's an issue, but I actually don't remember. If they were openable, they may have to be. I mean, we do have to put some things back exactly the way they were. So if they're openable, they may be openable with a stop on them.
Who's watching over you, the state of Michigan or the feds on that?
It's the park rangers. It's the feds. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have a historical architect, which is different than what Vince does, that just does historical buildings. But the state's involved too. So you have there's a state historic society, there's a federal. Both look over it, but the park rangers in the end, they're the ones who ultimately do the inspections and determine. Okay. So we're going to go down this staircase, then we're going to go all the way down to the basement. Well, okay, so what you have down here, and you remember last time it was a mess, so this, I mean, we laid all new concrete down here. This place has been completely cleaned out and rebuilt. There are nooks and crannies everywhere, but we've opened them all up. So things you have down here, for instance, the bakery will be down here, additional kitchen, some of your cold storage and your dry storage will be down here. Employee break rooms and bathrooms and locker rooms. Your fire suppression system areas, laundry, all of the things that make the hotel run will actually run down here. Your loading dock here is now here. So one of the areas I didn't show you is that you need an area to load.
Wow.
So now you have a loading dock. So we'll run a straight so that you can bring a truck right here, and we can load right through these what will be double doors here. And you can see we ramped it. So this is how we're going to roll stuff into the hotel, because you just didn't have access before.
No.
But the other piece of this, and since it's not as noisy here, I'll tell you when we get to the end of it. When you get to the end of this, you're at the ballroom, and think about the fact that we have to service the ballroom and the third floor bar and all of these other food areas. How are you going to get it there? Well, that's why we redid this. So you have things that be prepped down here, and it literally can be rolled. Carts can be rolled right through to the end. Same thing for room service and anything else. You can roll them right up. So we'll go that way. Just looking on the sides, you'll see. If you were here before, you had rooms full of dirt and rooms full of old. It's all cleaned out. It's all redone, and it's. The old bathrooms down here, they're gone because we moved them upstairs. So we'll take a walk all the way through. But that's the purpose of what we've done down here. You need the space, and you see there's open rooms now everywhere.
Yep. A lot of the electrical, this is all new too.
Yeah.
A lot of the electrical done, or is it halfway?
Yeah, the electrical, they haven't finished the framing first.
Oh my God.
Right. So all of this space is usable space. But it wasn't before.
And you'll use it for storage, or?
Well, we'll use it for all these different facilities. Like I said, employee, one of these is going to be the employee, this will be an employee break room.
Yep.
Oh no, this will be the locker rooms, and the employee break room will be here.
Still no cracks, right?
No, we're good. We're good.
Even with all the pounding.
No, we're good.
Amazing building.
So we're going to go back up and out. I'll tell you. So this will be the new ballroom. Be super careful.
Yep.
They're these guys are done in 2 days. Having these things, so they all of these metal beams. Some of them are as far as 150 feet down into bedrock. I think the smallest one is about 110. And they've been pounding these things down. You can see the machine there, and they vibrate them all the way down into the rock underneath. So you can drop a building on this building, and it ain't going anywhere. But this will be your ballroom here to the whole area. When we get back out and you look up, you'll see the connectors from the old inn into here. Will be reopened so that you can walk right through. The rooftop bar will be on top of this.
Will they be going up with beams?
No, wood. So these go down to the ground, and then you'll see across, they're building these cages, these grade beams. They go across the top and build basically a cage, and then you go up from there. But it'll all connect through, and so the two buildings will connect, because remember, the roof is coming off there, and that's getting raised up to the same level.
Right.
And so everything will connect all the way through like it's one building, and it'll all look like it was built at the same time, as opposed to what you had was a haphazard addition.
How big is the ballroom?
Ballroom will seat about 300. And the rooftop bar will have, it's about 4,500 feet, indoor, outdoor, about 2/3 in, 1/3 out. The other thing that you can't see here, because it's not here yet, but there's a set of bathrooms here, there's elevators, there's a whole bunch of other pieces here in the front that weren't here. So when we get over there, you'll see one of the new entrances to the other side. But the bathrooms will be over here. Another mini kitchen, a warming kitchen here, and then another one above it for the rooftop bar. But I'll be able to service right through what we just walked to. So that's really the key, is we'll be able to run food from here into these other mini kitchens so that they can stay warm, and then they're finishing kitchens is what they are. So let's pop in, and we're gonna go back up. We're gonna go back out the building and go around to the North Tower. This is now a secondary entrance to the hotel. This will be where the valet guys are. This will be the porte-cochere, because it's too small up in front. So while the lobby's still there, this is almost a secondary lobby, and the elevator is over here. That might be it here. The elevator's around here somewhere, and so this becomes a secondary entrance to the hotel. So this is more a guest drop-off area if you're already in the hotel. So the porte-cochere is the check-in area, and this is if you're already here.
There's going to be a museum, a small little museum. Is that going to be in the center?
We're going to use Prohibition for that.
Okay.
And put all those artifacts
that'd be great.
into Prohibition, because that's where we want you to feel like you're back in the 20s. So the Structurally, this hasn't changed much. I mean, there's been more framing, and you can see they're starting to pull the electrical in here. Can't do much because the roof's coming off. You'll see the roof come off 2 weeks maybe? Probably 2 weeks the roof will come off, and see, these guys will be done tomorrow or Saturday over doing the metal. And we're about ready. The roof actually has been prepped, so it's already been cut. You wouldn't tell. They're literally going to crane it off in 4 or 5 big pieces. So you'll see that come off, and then you'll see them come in, and they will then build the 3rd floor.
Are you going to reuse the roof?
No, we're starting over.
It's just temporary.
That roof's done. Well, they stripped it. It's actually the old roof. It's a strip.
Oh.
But it's going bye-bye. So they're going to cut. Just imagine where you're looking at the ceiling heights here. They're just going to cut it and pull it off in just big pieces. So these rooms haven't really changed, except what we did was we opened up the views.
Yeah.
You used to have little windows.
Right.
Now you have these big, beautiful windows. Imagine the 3rd floor suites, by the way, when you're up another level. The other thing that we're doing in the 3rd floor, which you can't see yet, but by the time we come out next time, we will be able to walk it, is we're going with vaulted ceilings on the 3rd floor.
Oh.
Because we can, because we're building it.
Right.
But the views out of here are just, they're spectacular, especially now that you've opened them up. But again, the room sizes are the same here, just everything will be new. But the advantage of, when you look around, you've got, one plug, on a wall, a light switch here. Now you're gonna have a situation where we can do all the amenities people are used to and throw in USB cords and things, all the things that people are used to having, all the low voltage. Doing it without walls in is easier.
Absolutely.
The waterfront, I mean, you have a seawall here. What do you plan on doing with this area?
Well, the seawall is being redone. It's, it failed. There's gonna be a beach down this area. So if you look at the area that just failed here, that actually will be a sand beach. The seawall will be put back up. The boardwalk isn't going to get extended, but we will have a walkway around the area. Down here, you'll have some lava pit areas off the there's off the balconies, and for people to hang out and talk and be near the beach. And so this whole area will get started soon. They got a lot of grading to do here because we have a series of decks and things off the hotel that have to get done.
There'll be like a balcony out here.
There'll be some balconies as well. Yeah. We've built the beginnings of the walls that will build the privacy areas for people that have private porches down below. You can probably actually get a better view if you look down that way, but all across here. So people will have these private issues. You want to make the non-view rooms, give them an additional amenity, even though the rooms are bigger. And so they'll all have these little private areas. And that's the beginning of those walls there.
Again, how many rooms?
106 all in by the time we're done. It was 92. I think now it's going to be 106.
With the addition of
plus the 3 cottages. There'll be 13 suites on top.
You mentioned before you could go up to 110, but are you still?
Well, we're going to be 100. We're going to be 109. That's what
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be 106 plus 3. Yeah. Yeah, we thought we were going to squeak another room out somewhere, and it didn't happen. But now that we're buying the Harrington Inn, we're going to pick up another 70 down the street. So yeah, that'll help. So that is, and then across the street, since we're standing here and we can't use the office, we're about a month and a half away from starting across the street. It'll be 2 stories, about 20,000 feet. You'll have, I think it's 8 stores. The corner piece will still be a Starbucks. I've got a bunch of people who want to be, I have more people than spaces right now that want to get in there, but we're going to do what we talked about before. No real changes there. The upstairs will be spa and gym. We're going to do most of our office space off-site. I'm looking for some places now to do office space elsewhere. We just don't have the room for it. And that'll start 6 weeks or so. You'll start seeing that start to happen. The DEQ took the building down, cleaned it up, took out the tanks, refilled it, and we're almost ready to go. We're just finishing up the plans now. The big advantage for us, quite frankly, is the city has been so helpful. This doesn't get done without the city council, led by Mayor Cedar. We couldn't have a better group of people to work with here. Mayor Cedar really has led the charge in helping us do that, and we'd be stuck in red tape. Not that we're doing anything wrong, because we're not. We're doing everything right, but they've made us a priority. And by making us a priority, the city inspector we call, he's here. and we need to fix something. He stays here and watches it fixed, and then says it's okay. And that's been great. And couldn't get done without a city council or a mayor like we have. It just couldn't.
That piece across the street includes the corner building, which is the old gas station.
Corner building
does it
doesn't
also
change.
include this building?
No, this doesn't. We don't own that.
No, you don't. Okay.
Right. So the corner building stays. That's actually it's not historic, but it's historically old, which is a different category. We will redo the inside of it, we'll spruce it up, but that'll be the Starbucks. And then there's probably about a 5-foot gap where the new building will be, and the new building will run all across the frontage, and then in the back will be parking. I think it's 71 parking spots, which we didn't have before. So we pick up that, we have this. When we finish with the road diet with MDOT, we'll pick up another, it's 100 and something spots on the street. And we have 2 acres of land about a mile away for additional parking that we have a deal with the city. And then we have another lot with the city off the golf course. There's a secondary lot there that we're leasing from the city that's about another 85 spots. So we have all in maybe 700 parking spots, 800 parking spots, which is, we're going to valet everybody anyway, quite frankly. But the street parking does during the day is it really helps that retail out, all the retail along the block. The back parking, all the employees will park off-site. But people who want to either drive here, because everybody's going to drive here, nobody's going to Uber from Detroit from the airport to get here. You need the parking. So we'll still valet people so we can control it and we can stack it when we need to.
How many slots do you have here in front of the hotel, remember?
We have, I want to say it's in the 60s. It changed a little bit because we created this porte cochere. So it may be in the 60s now, maybe more before. But the ingress egress has changed because we added this valet area. I think it's 71 across the street, and I think it's 134, 143 that will have on-street parking. That'll be fresh on-street parking. And then we have 320 down the block, and then another 85 off the golf course. So whatever that adds up to, it's a lot.
Well, you're up to date now on the improvements that are happening at the St. Clair Inn. Nice pictures, nice tour with Mr. Jeff Katofsky, the owner from Sherman Oaks, California. And as he mentioned, he bought the Harrington Inn a few weeks ago too. So lots of things happening here in St. Clair County. Thanks for watching Focus.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingeman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.